Alrighty guys, welcome back to yet another Project Zomboid video. Today we'll be covering 10 hidden features of the game you might not know about. We all know that the game is very mysterious when it comes to features, and because it's an early access game, where things are always changing, it's very easy for hidden features to be completely covered up. So hopefully, I'll be able to shed some light on some of these cool things, and you learned something today. Without further ado, let's get started with some of these hidden little gems. To start off with, we'll be looking at a few settings that the player might overlook, but have a lot of use in a normal run. The first option is located under the Display tab, and it's called Aim Outline. Usually, this is only enabled for ranged weapons, but you can actually switch it over to melee weapons as well. So this really helps with combat, as any zombie you are going to hit gets highlighted under a green light, saving your character the trouble of accidentally hitting the wrong zombie. And the second option that's really helpful is under Accessibility, and that is an option called Resume Normal Speed when timed actions complete. This is really useful for grinding out stuff such as disassembling crates, as you won't need to manually change the time after every task you do, which can really help with management. Now, let's say you found your base after a long day of work. Everything is spotless, windows are intact, and it has a comfy atmosphere. Then, out of nowhere, a bathroom zombie comes out of the woodwork, and now you have to stain your new walls with some brain matter. Though, one thing you can do is actually clean these messes up. With a bottle of bleach and a towel, you can actually right-click and clean up those bloody tiles. This is really helpful for those who take the aesthetic of their home seriously, as that dried blood can leave a damper on the mood, so it's super duper nice to know that you can plug up your nose and leave your base just as spotless as it was before. Now, we all enjoy weapons, right? But what if I told you there's actually a small modifier to every weapon type that you might not know about? This feature is especially useful if you spot a zombie wearing something you like, and you don't feel like damaging the goods. All it is the fact that the weapon type you are using on a zombie can actually damage and degrade the clothes that zombie is wearing. So using something like a knife or an axe will absolutely ruin those beautiful firefighter jackets, while using a blunt object like a crowbar or baseball bat, not nailed, will leave the clothing intact as it was when it was first worn. So it's really nice to keep a blunt weapon on hand, just in case a shirt or a jacket spots your fancy. Let's say you survived the initial apocalypse and whoops, the power has finally went out, sending you back to the Dark Ages. Now, you could fix up and start up your very own generator, but what if I told you there's another way to get lighting to work without needing those pesky gas guzzlers? That's right, if you have the electrical skill up to level 5, you can actually convert household lamps to be powered by everyday batteries, with a screwdriver, electronic scrap, and of course, batteries on hand. This is a great alternative light source that shouldn't be too resource heavy, and it's really nice, especially if you can't find a generator manual or you picked the illiterate trait. Also, fun fact, you can change the different types of light bulb, so if you're feeling wacky, you can have Gred? Anyways, you can have either red or green internal lighting, which definitely gives things a wacky flair. Having a few good levels in a weapon can mean the difference between life and death. While it's generally accepted that killing zombies is the best way to level these skills, did you know that the amount of experience you get is determined by the amount of damage you do with the weapon? So, using something like a fire axe will see higher XP gained compared to using a lower damage type weapon like a frying pan. This also applies to guns, which makes shotguns the best to level in Zomboid, period. With just 25 zombies, you can gain about 1.5 experience levels, which is absolutely insane. This is just something to keep in mind for all of you out there. This is for the loot goblins that populate the streets of Knox County. Did you know that there is a small chance for floorboard stashes to be inserted into any home as soon as you start the game? These little caches are a great way to get a multitude of weapons and supplies without putting yourself at risk. All you need to do is keep a close eye for loose floorboards, as it's very easy to miss out on these. There's also a chance for you to get a map directly pointing to one if you get lucky killing a zombie. Despite the circumstance, it's a great feeling to find these little surprises while surviving in the apocalypse, and it gives you one more extra thing to look out for while you're going through your generic homes. Did you know that you put your character at risk when you avoid disposing or dumping dead corpses? Let's say your character kills a lot of zombies in front of their base, so now you have 20 dead zombies or so. These dead zombies, signified by corpse flies, can actually make your character sick, and prolonged exposure can lead to death. So make sure you are disposing of bodies properly by either burying, burning, or dumping them elsewhere, because it can really sneak up on your character, and by the time you realize, it may be already too late. So it's always good, especially when you're near your base, to practice some basic hygiene. We all want to avoid that dreadful bite. But, did you know the position of the attack affects your chances drastically? That's right, in this game there's something called back vulnerability. So, basically, what this means is that if a zombie attacks you on your rear, the chances of them landing on a 100% fatal bite spikes up massively. So just always make sure you're facing your enemies and to be aware of your surroundings, because all it takes is one mistake for your run to get ended, and especially when this game is filled with a bunch of ninja zombies that always are looking for that back grab. Stay safe out there. Like the bleach and towel mechanic, this one is just for some good old fun cosmetic use. Did you know that you can actually use the scissors and makeup in the game to customize the visuals of your character? So not only can you change your character's haircut, but you can also apply makeup ranging from Rambo war paint to a full-on clown getup. Just make sure you have a mirror on your character or on the wall to apply the makeup, and small stuff like this really adds to the entire experience, so I thought I'd mention this before we get on to our last feature for the day. This one actually surprises me, because people still think you need a mod for this one. But it's the fact that you can actually tow and transport vehicles in Project Zomboid. You don't need anything other than the 2 vehicles to pull this off. All you have to do is drive the back of the driving car to the front of the towed one. And then you run over, access the vehicle menu with the hotkey V, and you can attach vehicles to your heart's content. Now, you can only tow 2, and the weight of the vehicle will determine how much speed you get, vice versa with heavier vehicles towing a bit easier. This comes in clutch so many times when you have 2 vehicles you want to carry back, or if you're feeling really crazy and you just want to double up the storage, so, you know, 2 heads is better than 1 in this circumstance? Anyways, that's going to be it for the hidden features I found for Project Zomboid. I hope everyone has gotten at least one thing out of this, as that's the entire goal of this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to check out some of my other stuff as well. I cover a lot of Zomboid, so subscription would mean the world to me. I am also running a Twitch and Discord if you're interested in that as well. I hope everyone has a darn good day. Peace out!